Okay, here we are in MatrixGold again. I'm going to have to ask you to bear with me. There's going to be a lot in here, little small things that I'm going to show you as we go along through the video. So please bear with me. So first thing we're going to do is grab a ring rail, and I'll just keep it on size 7. And for sake of the video, we're just going to really quickly put a Signet ring out there, builder. You can adjust all this and everything, but this isn't what we're really going to be talking about, so I'm just going to accept that and hit enter. And then I'm just going to take my yellow, and who knows, we might need them, so we're going to turn them to gray and we're going to turn them off. Okay, so here's our Signet ring. We want to cut something out in the side of the Signet ring so that we can put some design stuff into it. So we'll go to our right view, and we'll turn off, make sure our snaps are turned off, and we'll go to our line curve, and we'll keep it in mirror mode so we can kind of see what's going on. We'll go to line curve, and we'll change that to yellow, and we'll kind of pick, you know, there's 1 millimeter down, maybe 1.5 millimeters, something like that, and offset a little, let's say right around here, and then drag it down to where we want it. Leave a nice little edge for the ring itself, somewhere around here maybe. And then we're just going to take that and mirror it to F4. And now we want to turn off our green and turn on our snaps. Okay, so here we'll get this line curve again. We'll snap it to that end. We'll snap it to that end and snap it to this end, and again down here. I moved it again down here. Okay, so we'll take all that and we'll join it. Oh, I don't know why that popped up. Broke history, no big deal. Okay, so it's all one curve. I don't like these sharp edges. If you do, that's fine. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to take them and go to my something up here, cleanup, and I'm going to fillet those. And I have it set at a 0.2. That's fine for me. And there we go. So there's our curve. Okay, so now we're going to bring back our green and go to a front view. Okay, so we're going to take this, oh, let me back up. We're going to take this curve and just drag it out. Now I wanted to show you something here, so because sometimes it happens and you're wondering why. Okay, it's really far away from the object we want to project this curve onto. So if I did a curve project from here, it probably won't work. So we need to make this as close as possible without touching the item that we want to transfer the curves to. So let's go to our front view again, and we'll take this and we'll just try and curve it from here and see what, because it might be okay. So let's hit rotate. We'll select our curve, hit enter, and we'll just go down here to the bottom, and we'll hold down shift, and we'll transfer it so that it's as close as possible without touching. Okay, so there it is. All right, so you might want to take another look at it from the side, just to make sure it's where you like. Okay, so it dropped down maybe a little bit, so let's take it and move it up just a smidgen there, and we'll take that. Okay, then I'll go to my perspective, and what we'll do, oh, I want to go to my right side, sorry. And then what we're going to do is go up here and type project. And there it is, way on our left hand side right here. So we're going to click on that. It says select curves and points to project. So we want to select this curve, and then we're going to hit enter, and then we want to select our surface and hit enter. Okay, and then hopefully that projected our curves on there, which it did. So that's not a bad thing to have. I mean, you can hollow it out later, but we're just going to go ahead and get rid of that one for now, and we don't need this. We can always split the ring at the if we just do one side. If you want to do something else on that side, you can keep it and have the exact same cutout on both sides. But we're just going to do the one here. And then we're going to take this, and of course we're going to put it on gray and hide it. So now I have my ring with my curve on it. It looks okay. So from here, what I want to do is I want to take my ring and split with the curve and hit enter. Okay, it broke history, no big deal. And now I have that surface, right? So from this point, this surface here, I want to go to surface menu, and I want to go to offset surface right here, not the variable. You can, that's a whole nother day. We'll just go to this offset here, and of course it's wanting it to put it outside of our ring, and we don't want that, so we're going to go down here and say flip all, and then I want it offset to about a 0.5 is all. Okay, and then I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to hit enter again. Okay, and there's our offset. So right now everything's connected. Okay, so what we need to do is explode that. So we'll explode it, and then we'll just take this top surface. There's sometimes reasons why you might want to keep this. If there's something that you put up, you know, solid but stiff, and you want it to curve with your ring, you can use this as a cutter at a later date. So we're just going to, I'm not going to show that today, but keep in mind you probably want to keep a hold of this. So we'll just turn it to our gray and hide it. And right now our ring's in a couple different pieces, so we're just going to go ahead and take it and join it back together, and we should have a closed poly surface, which we do. Alright, so from here, the first thing I'm going to do is go to my right view, sorry. And I want to put a little arc in here because I want to put some writing on it, you know. So what I'm going to do is go back and turn off snaps again, because we want to project it on the plane there, flat on the plane. And I'm going to go to my curve, arc direction, and arc direction curve, and I don't know, I wanted to start down here maybe, let's see, 1, 2, and go to, let's see, 1, 2, kind of in the mid there, trying to get it, hold down shift, and I'm clicking, and I'm just dragging it up. I want it to curve a little bit. Okay, so now we do the same thing we did with the cutout. We take this curve and we want to drag it over to as close to it without touching. Okay, and then go back up here, type project, and it pops up over there. And then we just want to go back to our right. It just seems to work really well. If you're just facing the view, you want it to snap away from you. I mean, I'm sure you could probably do it through perspective, but it just seems to do a much better job. But anyway, we're going to go back to project. We're going to select our curves to let's abort that. We're going to select curves and points to project, and that's our curve here. And then we're going to hit enter, and then select our surface, which is this, and hit enter. And we'll check it out and see if it worked. And there it projected all the way through. Again, we don't need a lot of this, so that we're going to delete, that we're going to delete. If you wanted to type something else over there and have it the same angle as this, you could just leave that, because it would be with your cutout there. And then I'm going to get rid, no, I'm going to turn this one to gray. Keep that one just in case. Alright. Now what I want to do is I want to put some writing on there. So we'll go to our tools menu, I believe, and text on curve. Click on that. We want to select our curve, and that's our little arc curve right there. And it comes up with the default MatrixGold. So come over here, first pick our surface. We want this surface here, and then hit enter. and it's kind of jacked up there, so we want to go down and let's play around with these flip horizontal and flip vertical and see which one works best. Sometimes both of them. Yep, there you go. Both of them work pretty good. And then we want to add some text in there. We don't want it to say MatrixGold. We want it to say, I'm just going to go all text. Subscribe. Sales point, and then we'll hit enter. And it'll change it to subscribe. And of course it's kind of big and everything, so we can adjust it. You can change your font here, any of those kinds of font size. We want to drop it down. There you go. Maybe a little bit bigger. I'm not going to play around with it too much. There you go. That's fine. So there's our subscribe. And of course, you know, if you look at it, it's kind of sticking out, right? We know that we dropped that insert 0.5, so that's exactly what we want to do with our text. So we're going to font depth. We want to type in a 0.5 and hit enter. And now when you look at it, it goes right along with that curve, so you can't really it fits right in there. It doesn't you know, stick out one place too far or whatever. So here we go with this. All right, and then what we want to do is we want to put some kind of a picture in here. So what we're going to do, well, first we're going to accept that by hitting enter, and so that's locked in. And we'll just take that and change it to a big bold white so everybody can see subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Okay. And then we're going to get our design out. And this is something I made a little while back for something else. And I'll maybe go over and show how to do something like this at a later date. But we want this on that surface. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our tools menu, our solid, solids menu, object on surface. Okay, now this is going to be a little tricky, so bear with me here. I'm going to click on my object on surface, select my surface first, select surface. That's this surface here. It's going to put a ball out there. Don't worry, you can go to your library and choose different things, but we want this thing on there. Okay, so we're going to go here and check object, select our object, that's this thing here, and press enter. Okay, now it turns it into this thing. Let's go to our right view. Okay, it turns into this thing here, and it's real small. Now you can, for some reason, do not click, because it'll leave another copy of it and you'll have to delete all that stuff and it'll be harder to see. You can go to your, and then it will disappear and you can move it around this way. But do not click on it from here. You can make it rotate or whatever. But we want to probably just mess around with the handles over here. So for now. So we're going to, it's okay. So maybe easier to move it from here. We want to put it in the center somewhere, something like, I don't know, that. And then for now that's fine. Placement, up down, position VU, we won't mess with those. Position rotation, we won't mess, well, we'll just rotation, you can rotate it. We want to keep that at 0. Hit enter. And you can flip it, you can click avoid overlap, but right now we want to go to size. Okay, so we want this bigger in here, and we're just going to make it bigger, and then now we want to move it down because it's getting a little too big for our top, too close. So we'll just take it and move it down, trying to keep it in the center there, and we'll go back over here to size and play around some more. And I don't know, we'll do that there and hit enter. Okay, so there's our object on there, but if you'll notice, it's kind of jacked up. It's buried in there because what it did is it took those points and just really didn't do a good job laying them out. So what we're going to do is go back to edit, which is always nice, and we're going to drag it out. We want it out. So we're going to grab a hold of this thing here where it says placement, if I can get it, and drag it out some. Okay, let's take a look at it and see what it, okay, it's still not out there quite a bit. Go over here, placement, drag it out. We'll take a look. Still a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Alright. So maybe a little bit back. We want it kind of touching in that one spot at least. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah. Okay, so at least it's touching right there in the center, right? But everywhere else is all jacked up. It's way off the surface. It will print really weird. It's not flowing with the ring. Nothing that we want. But for right now, we're just going to hit enter. Okay. But we know it's sitting in that center zone there. So now what we're going to do, there are probably other ways to do this, but I'm just going to show you this particular way. And we're going to go to transform and click on our, somewhere up here, bend command. Okay. Alright, so now it puts out all kind of stuff. Now it's important to know what these all arrows mean. Of course, this is the length on this side, the length on that side, this top part, the bottom part, and of course you could do the mids as well. So it's asking us to, or what side we want to adjust first. So I'm just going to kind of get it so that I can get a good look on both sides and arrange it a little bit so that I can kind of see up in there. And then I'm just going to take this side here. Okay, so it'll adjust this side. I'll explain. Alright, so here we're going to click on that. So we're going to adjust this side over here. It's going to ask, we can angle it. But it's going to angle it from this point here. We do not want that. We want it angled from the center. So we're just going to drag this point to the center, which is a 0.5, and then it'll just bend this part here. You grab this little angle here and just kind of keep dragging it down, and until it kind of goes into our ring. And it looks like we could probably drag it down just a little bit more, just to be safe. That's too much. Up. There we go. Okay. So now we got that side done. That's one side. And then what we want to do is come back over here and select a side. So we want to select the other side. And that is this one here. Okay. And again, it's going to put us way over here. We don't want that. We want to move it to a 0.5. Okay. And now we want to get a good view so we can kind of see where it's going. And then we want to pick there and then drag that down to the surface so that's touching. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we know that it's curving and touching on both those sides. And now what we got to do is we got to fix the lengthwise because it's all jacked up here. So let's go to our right view, our front view, and click that on. It's hard to see, so we'll go back to perspective, get a little bit of look in there. And now what we want to do is we need to, this side here, we want to drag down. So let's see, it's this one here. Okay, so click on it, and of course it's going all the way to the other end. We want to drag that up to a 0.5, which will be mid. And then we want to be very careful and take a look at it and drag it down into our surface. Maybe that's a little too much. Drag it just a little bit out. Okay. And then we need to go back over, hit select side. And we want to do that to this side here now. Okay. And we want to take a look at it. get an angle where you got a decent look on the surface. And first thing we need to do is drag that endpoint and bring it into the mid. And now we can kind of see how far we have to bend that down. Okay. And it looks like it's all touching, so everything's down. We'll hit enter. And there's our item on the surface of the ring, and if you look at it, it bends with the ring itself. Okay. Now you can push that back if you don't like it out so far, or whatever you feel like. But there is one other thing I wanted to do. Let's take this and go ahead and hide it. And that is, we want to put a little teeny gem on there. We can do a gem on surface, right? Let's see, a gem on surface, and then click and pull it. But I want to do it the old-fashioned way and show you a little extra tool you can use. So we're just going to go to a gem, click it out there, and we want a real small gem, probably the smallest you can get. And then we'll go to our front view. And we're just going to position it in. And this is the reason why I wanted to show you. Okay, it's somewhere right in here. So, we're doing it this way, right? And then dragging it out. And now this is the part, okay? So we want to drag it up a little, and then we want to rotate it. Something like that. Rotate it down a little. Sometimes this can be a pain in the butt to get where you want it to go. I just got lucky and it looks like it's pretty close. But there's a tool you can use to make it much easier. If you get a gemstone that's at a really bad angle and you're not getting a good look, you can go up to your menu or search bar and type in gem view. Okay, now what this will do, we want to go ahead and accept that last command. And okay, and now we want to go to gem view. Okay, well, select our gem first, I guess, and then go to gem view. Now look at that, it switched it so our gem is very easily being able to be manipulated and moved into the exact spot. We can see we got a little extra over here, and it's a lot easier to move around and get it in the right, sometimes get it in the right spot. So then we want to go back to our view. So I think we need to click on gem view again, and then we can go to our perspective, and we turned it off. So there's our gem right there where we want it. And I'm going to try and edit it just a little bit smaller. I don't think it will go, but yeah, 0.8 small still get. So I'll accept it, and then I'll go to my settings category, and we'll just slap a bezel on there. Whoa, yeah, that's looking awesome. And then we'll kind of adjust our bezel. We don't want it that high. We want it nice and low. Well, not that low. We want the gem to be able to go in there. This is like crazy. Oh my gosh, no. Gem, oh yeah, that's gem offset too. Okay, a little bit. And then we want to bring that in, 0.4 maybe. I don't like the dome, so we're just going to cut that dome. It always does that. We're going to cut that dome down to about a 20. Yeah. And we'll look, see, okay, it needs to go in a little. 0, 0, we'll just take it a point, -1. And we'll take this a little bit thinner. And whoa, check that out. Awesome. And we'll just bring this up to where we know it's in our ring. You can look at it through here if you want. Yeah, okay. And then the last thing I wanted to show you, we have our, if I go to the render type thing, it's kind of messed up. So let's go ahead and take this and turn it to green, and let's take this and turn it to green. and that the purple automatically goes to the white. But what we want to do is we want to take our ring just for render purpose. At this point, you can boolean everything together and get it all ready. But for render purposes, we want to take our ring and explode it. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So we have this surface. We want to take that surface and change it. Okay. Now it's a nice white surface, and you can see I did those edges. It looks pretty good. Anyway, what we're going to do from here is we're going to go to our render and go ahead and do the Matrix Classic there. It's applied. We'll go ahead and keep this at white gold, green and purple, and take that to a white gold. We want a diamond, which it already is. Yes. Okay. And this is the surface. Go down to ground planes, and they have a black matte black here. So click on that and hit apply. And this will just make your design pop, because this will represent an antiquing background. And we'll do a render from there. And now you can see it's pretty cool. It really makes it pop. You can put a lot of other designs in there or whatever. I'm just trying to show you the basics. But that's it. If this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and good designing. Thank you very much.